Remember this pretty face? This is Mackenzie's friend's Foal. We saw him being born, and it's amazing to think that in 18 months' time, he'll be being trained to be a racehorse himself. We'll see what happened when the vet came to check him out. Also, I find out what it takes to become a lean, mean riding machine. In my dreams. It may not be Crufts, but Eastbury's doggy fancy dress parade is a seriously competitive business.
Oh, if we lose, that'll be it. We won't enter next year. We will just boycott it and go to another fete.
First, though, we're off to Castle Peace, where it's a big day for Mary Meek. Single mum Mary has a dream of becoming a successful trainer, but so far this season, things haven't gone according to plan. A virus hit the yard and Mary had to stop everything. But now, with her horses fit again, she's entered 4-year-old Balak in the 240 at Plumpton. It'll be her first runner for 4 months.
Well, I can see that we're very much an outside chance. We're 150 to 1, which will give you some idea about the odds of my horse and me actually being successful in today's race. So, you know, it's quite daunting to open up the paper and realise that you are actually competing on the stage with all these other people that have had lots of winners and lots of experience, and it's just all really a learning curve. But I haven't slept last night. I feel a bit tired, feel a bit sick to my stomach, and I'll be really happy when we're in the box on the way home.
Even on race day, Mary can't forget her other big role in life, bringing up 2 young daughters.
Megan's off to her friends to play for the day. You're not allowed to have young children into the paddock areas at the race courses, so it's not really fair for her to stand on the sidelines and watch. Hurry up, Mum's not got a lot of time. Right, let's go.
The troops have rallied round for the big day, and Mary's friend Helen has agreed to act as travelling head groom.
She takes everything in her stride. She's a very good little horse to deal with in every respect. She's really just my little baby.
2 hours later and Mary's at the races, at last.
Mary Meek, I've got a horse in the 240.
Okay. What's the horse called?
Balak.
Sorry?
Balak. Had to think for a minute there.
After a long layoff, Balak will have his work cut out negotiating the 2 circuits and 10 fences.
What's the official going?
Good to farm.
In places.
Yeah.
Another of Mary's friends, former Grand National jockey Derek Morris, is a source of some valuable last-minute advice.
Initially, if I was riding myself, I'd jump off and let her find her own place. And if that's 4-4 fifth or it's 8-4 ninth. So you just sit where she's comfortable. That's the main thing, just let her enjoy it for a circuit.
Derek has got years of experience behind him and knows how tough it'll be for Mary to make it as a professional trainer.
You know, I had all the experience of being a jockey before I started training. My dad was a jockey before me. For anybody like Mary to come into the training game without that experience behind them, I take my hat off to her and anybody.
As the race nears, Balak is still an outsider in the betting. Maybe the punters have heard about her problems with PMT. But if she could beat the odds and steal a win, it would mean a £3,000 first prize. Mary's life would be transformed.
For the whole place to work, I need things to start happening for me, or I'll lose it. So I really need to get some results on the board this year. And obviously, if we could win some prize money, it would just help pay for it and keep it all going and make it a bit easier for me.
It's been a long, hard road to get to this point. I wonder if Balak has any idea how much is riding on her. Can she make Mary's day? We'll be back at Plumpton later to find out. ample garden of Eastbury House, an army of helpers are preparing for the annual fete.
I think we could get this market cleared.
Owner Johnny McCready and his wife Alison are overseeing the arrangements.
I think everything looks fine. Everybody seems to be putting up their stalls quite happily. There don't seem to be any hiccups. The only thing I'm probably going to do is move the egg throwing, which they might not be too pleased about.
Meanwhile, down in the village, Debbie Watson and her friend Dennis are getting all dressed up for the occasion.
It's not going to go brown then.
No, the instructions say 45 minutes.
Yeah, well, OK, it's been in here for 45 minutes. And it still looks...
you check it out then.
Well, I'm trying to get a rather nasty bright pink wig to look like a sort of vaguely darkish, brownish type colour. It's supposed to take about an hour, and we put it in about 3/4 of an hour ago, and it's still looking purple.
But it won't be Debbie that's wearing the wig, or Dennis for that matter. This is fancy dress for dogs.
Oh, Penny, you look gorgeous like that.
Debbie is determined that the star of the show will be her beloved greyhound,
Yeah.
Penelope Pitstop, or Penny for short.
She just adores dressing up. I mean, she's a natural. Most dogs hate it, but she loves it. You know, we've done Posh and Beck's, we've done Lady and the Tramp, we've done the Blues Brothers.
This year, Debbie has decided to team Penny up with the next-door neighbour's Newfoundland to make Beauty and the Beast.
But if we put like a white bib on him and a bow tie, yeah.
Got another one of my shirts up.
You know that your shirts goes for the pen.
As usual, Dennis has been roped in to design the costumes.
Do you think that's any good?
Yeah, that'd be ideal, that.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't volunteer for it. Every year I seem to get lumbered for it, and there I am again doing it again this year. This would be ideal. Cut that up. You don't mind that being cut, do you?
No. No, it's disgusting.
That'll look better in the bra, I imagine. This white one.
No, she's got to wear the bra. I'm determined she's going to wear the bra.
That'd go nicely.
Yeah, but she's going to wear the bra. I don't care. She's got to wear the bra.
I don't know, you don't know.
She likes it.
Just a minute.
She likes it, okay?
It'll be the job of Debbie's husband, Mike, to walk Penny around the parade ring on the day of the fete.
Complete lunacy, but never mind.
But if you hold it like that,
For a good
I'll
cause.
go and see if I can find this other wig.
The couple last won the coveted title 2 years ago.
For this particular one, we dressed the dogs up in white and black collars with the hats and the sunglasses to represent the Blues Brothers. Although this photograph doesn't show them wearing hats, they did have them on, but of course they kept shaking them off, so it was quite a bit of a job to get them to wear them.
The Blues Brothers outfits may have been a hit, but last year Debbie and Penny suffered a major upset.
Well, we lost the year we were Posh and Beck's because somebody managed to dress up as Rambo and something else in camouflage. And he came with a loaded gun even, and he even frightened the people on the stalls, you know. He had a great big rifle, you know, and he came in, yeah. And so we lost that year, which we were very, very annoyed about. Very, very annoyed.
Failure has made Debbie even more determined for Penny to be top dog.
Deb, what do you think of these?
Well, yeah, but
You know what I mean?
yeah, but they're not very... the idea is good, but we need to put some sparkle on them. This is very important that, you know, we win.
She'll be annoyed if she don't win, after all the fuss and things that goes on, you know. They won it most years. She lost it last year and was very upset about it.
Well, these are their firsts, obviously, and that's when we came third. And everybody thought we should have won, but we didn't. So that was disgusting. We got the 2 seconds. That was also disgusting. And that was my other old dog. He got the reserve champion, which everybody said was a fix.
You see, the will to win runs deep in the Valley of the Racehorse.
Don't let me down. Don't do anything silly. Oh, well, if we lose, that'll be it. We won't enter next year. We'll just boycott it and go to another fete. And I won't do the church flowers again.
But it's all looking a little hairy on the costume front.
can be binned.
Find out tomorrow if Dennis can snatch victory from the paws of defeat. It's not just the horses who have to be in top condition in the racing game. I'm off to meet a woman who believes the person steering also needs to have the fitness levels of an elite athlete. Now, it's been quite a long time since I was up this early in the morning to ride a racehorse. Wish me luck. Meet Frankie Naylor, sports therapist and slave driver. Hi, Frankie.
Hiya.
I'm Clare.
Hi.
I don't know whether you realise what you're asking me to do here. I think I've sat on a racehorse once in the last 5 years.
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. We've got you a really nice one anyway, so
Have you?
you won't have any problems there.
I'll tell you what I'm worried about, because obviously you get terribly stiff after you ride, and it starts to hurt like hell when you are riding, because even if, you know, I've been riding plenty over the years, but mainly riding long and just riding, you know, hacking out.
Yeah, sure. Well, the racing's very different because you've got to pull your stirrups up and you're going to be riding much shorter on the racehorses, and obviously the racehorses do pull quite a lot as well. So you might feel like you're going to be achy a bit the next day.
Thanks. So this is the horse I'm riding.
That's right. This is Hedge Kerry, so he's going to be your ride for the day.
Hey, big fella. You look after me. Now, you might think that it's the horse who does all the work, but riding a hard-pulling thoroughbred puts an enormous strain on the body. When you start off, it's all right, you feel relatively secure, because I'm riding quite long here. I'm riding about as long as you would just for normal hacking out. But when we get onto the canter, we'll shorten up our stirrups and probably end up about like that, which helps you position yourself over the horse and helps you hold them when they're pulling. But Frankie keeps saying I'm going to hurt in the morning. I think I'm going to hurt while it's actually happening as well. This morning, we're heading off to the local gallops to give the horses their morning exercise. I feel desperately unfit already. Big boy. We'll be covering a distance of 4 furlongs, which means we'll be galloping for just under a minute. It doesn't sound like much, but you feel it. As soon as we get going, it makes me realise how much I miss it. The freedom, the sense of speed, the absolute trust in another living being. That was so much better than I thought it was going to be. He was such a gent. Nice to be back in the saddle. Back at the stables, every precaution is taken to make sure the horses don't stiffen up. Not sure about me, though. I can feel it in my bottom, in my legs, in my very large thighs. And I think probably I'll feel my shoulders again tomorrow, because just setting yourself against the horse a little bit means you're working your arms. You're a good boy. Unfortunately, there's really only one way to avoid these aches and pains, and that is to get racing fit. Today, Frankie has a personal training session with professional jump jockey Noel Feely at her studio in Eastbury.
That's good. Keep going. Legs a little bit further apart. That's it. Lovely. That's good. Nice and high. Keep going.
God, Noel, I'm impressed.
Stop. Excellent, well done.
So what are you working on specifically with Noel?
I'm basically working on his phosphocreatine system, which is his fast energy, which gives him power. So as he's riding over fences, he needs to be really, really powerful, just as the horse does, really. And if the horse is about to fall or make a mistake, he needs to be really quick to be able to stop the horse from making that mistake if he can.
And the constant dilemma for jockeys is, I mean, there's very little of you. You're pretty strong and muscular, but you don't want too much muscle build-up because of your weight. Yeah. Every single day you're on the scales and you don't want to weigh more than 10, what would you be, 10 stone?
10, 3 or 4 most of the time. Yeah. But you don't want to build up too much muscle, but you need to have as little fat in your body as you can, just to be as light as you can.
Sport is as much about science as skill these days. For jump jockeys like Noel, Frankie will formulate a workout targeting specific energy systems for speed and power and aerobic fitness for stamina.
We're going to do the same again. The other system that predominates in their bodies is the lactic acid system, and they really need to be able to cope with the huge build-up of lactic acid that they get in the quadricep muscles in the front of their legs there. As they're pushing a horse out at the end of a race, or sometimes in the middle of a race, depending on the ability of the horse, they do find that they get a huge build-up of lactic acid, and the more they challenge that system, the better they're going to be able to tolerate it.
Oh my God, you've got a horse in your studio.
Yeah, this is the horse equisizer.
What is it?
It's basically like a simulator. We use it for the jockeys, and it means that they can actually train specifically to their races without actually having to be on a horse.
So it doesn't need grooming, it doesn't need to be mucked out, doesn't bite, doesn't kick. Noel, it's the perfect horse. Hop on, away you go.
We're going to do this for 15 seconds. Keep those legs nice and straight.
I should think strangers walking up the garden path wonder what the hell's going on in here. It's very noisy.
Okay, so as Noel comes out of his warm-up phase, he's going to be going into his lactate threshold phase. So he's going to come down really nice and low, and he's going to start pushing the horse a little bit more.
Now, when people ride, they say they really feel a burning in their thighs. And this is what you mean, the quadriceps are just here, the top part of the thigh.
That's
that
right.
starts to...
Yeah, that's right. The quadriceps is the largest muscle group in the body. So because it's the largest muscle group, potentially a lot more lactic acid can actually come into that area. So the potential for increased pain is huge.
Can you feel it yet, Noel?
Yes. And straight legs again, and nice and easy. And rest.
The scales become an obsession for all jockeys. Most of them have to maintain a weight at least a stone below what's natural for them. And for some, the constant battle to be light can lead to bad habits. And perceived wisdom used to be that you would drink that much liquid in a day, get by on just that amount for a whole 24 hours, and spend about an hour in the sauna as well.
When I met Frankie, you'd go days without eating and you'd just sweat it all off in the sauna, but now it's I eat more healthily, eat more regularly, and drink a lot more water, and it seems to help.
The most vital thing that you can put in your body is water. I mean, you're 70% water anyway, so by taking that out, it actually really depletes every system in your body, and it makes you a lot less efficient. So, you know, you need water to go to your brain, and if you haven't got enough water in your brain, you're not going to be able to think properly.
So we're going to see better results from you because of this fitness program?
Yeah, it definitely helps, and it's easier to get through a day. If you ride out early in the morning and you're racing all day, you don't feel as tired by the end of it, and it's easier the following day again. It all helps.
How many winners did you ride last season?
56 was my best season so far, so hopefully better that again this year.
Yeah, get up above 60.
Yeah,
well,
60 plus.
Good luck, we'll be watching you closely.
Thank you.
Bobby McEwen is one of the equine vets here in Lambourne, and when he's not spending his time in the operating theatre, he's out seeing his patients, between 20 and 30 of them a day. Now, horses aren't like cats and dogs. You can't just put them in a basket and drop them round to the vets every time they've got a problem. So he has to drive out to see them, and he clocks up around about 60,000 miles a year. He does, however, get the odd hour off. And how does he spend it? Well, with horses, of course. Bobby's pride and joy is a retired racehorse called Brays of Mar, who used to be owned by the Queen Mother. Now 15 years old, he won 26 professional races for top Lambourne trainer Nicky Henderson.
He was a good, very good horse. Mick Fitzgerald will tell you he could win anything he wanted to, and but he doesn't really want to. He prefers enjoying life rather than working hard and running races. A very sweet horse. Kids can ride it, anybody can ride him basically. If I can ride him, anybody can ride him.
It's a hard life being a vet in Lambourne, but whenever he can, Bobby likes to take his favourite horse out for a spin.
It's just really to stretch his legs so he doesn't get bored in a box. You could just lead him out if you wanted to, but it's more fun than riding him out.
Despite working all day with horses, Bobby never gets tired of their company.
They're lovely creatures, beautiful creatures. I just like being around with them, really. It's I'm very lucky. It's an amazing way of life to combine both your pleasure and work. A great buzz. Sadly, I'm a long way away from Nicky Henderson and people like that, but it's still a great partner. Come on, you big lump.
A moment of peace in a packed schedule, but a hectic afternoon of consultations is just around the corner.
I'll be there about 20 minutes. Is that okay?
The waiting is nearly over for Mary Meek and her horse Balak.
He looks well, quite pleased. She's quite bright and alert and ready for action.
The trainer has done all she can. Now it's up to Jockey and the horse.
See what happens. Sort of a mid-div, settle her away, quiet for a circuit, and then as we pick up, going down the back straight, if she's there, you know. As I say, we're here to do our best, so whatever happens.
It's been a roller coaster ride over the past few months, just getting Balak race fit. She'd suffered from PMT, which the vet cured by inserting a marble into her uterus, so she'd think she was pregnant. At least there's one less competitor for Mary to worry about. Among Thieves unseats his rider before the start, reducing the field to 15.
Lining up and they're off. Pretty well strung out here. Must be 40 lengths first to last as they approach the first flight of hurdles. The last over made a mistake in midfield. Is currently racing in about 5th or 6th place. Green colours, who clattered his way through flight number 2. Runners are on their turn back towards the third flight.
She's about 2, 4, 6 or 7.
Racing in 6th at this comparatively early stage is Balak.
Doing okay, she's in there. Doing okay.
Settlement Crack made a mistake at the third flight.
Who was that made a mistake?
Killandini's rider cast a glance over to the big screen. You'll see the length clear from Orthodox. Those two are 6 clear. 6 to try and make a little bit of ground with my mate on the approach towards this flight of hurdles in company with Shaw. Then comes Solid Sound, and we lose one towards the back of the field that was the last over. Next 2 lengths to my mate, who shows in 3rd place.
She's been bumped a couple of times and she's lost herself.
And Killandini and Settlement Crack settle down to fight it out on the approach towards the second last. Killandini.
She's well behind. She's obviously got really tired. Very disappointing.
Mary has spent over £400 on transport, the jockey and entrance fees. She'll be going home with nothing.
It's just so annoying. You put so much work in and we just haven't been able to get it right on the day. She certainly jumped away well enough, and you know, she's kept with them for a good long distance, but she just hasn't been able to finish the way that we would want her to finish. So, back to the drawing board.
It's a big blow, but Mary is not a quitter, and today's setback isn't going to put her off.
I'll never give up. Not being bred to give up. I really don't mind things going wrong at this stage, but when I get to the stage that I want to be able to compete, I want to start having lots of winners, so it makes me more determined to get out and do it.
You may remember last week when we were burning the midnight oil with Tracy as she assisted Mackenzie's friend giving birth to a new colt. Well, Mum and baby have been doing well, and today the vet is visiting to check the new foal over.
Hello, darling. Oh, she's very chatty, Baba. You gonna stand up then? Up yet? Come on.
Good sized foal.
Yeah, very good size foal. The off one's still a little contracted, but not so bad, little one. Oh, you know it's going to be horrible, don't you, little one? Oh, this is the horrible bit. Horrible veterinary.
This is his antibiotic and TAT injections. We always pop them in the backside rather than the neck, which is a normal place on horses, because we don't want to, if there's any stiffness from the injection, we don't want to affect the foal's ability to suck. Let's do the blood and then we'll give it a check. The importance of the first visit is to check that the foal is healthy and has suffered no damage during the birth process. So we give it a brief clinical examination and particularly check the ribs for any fractures that can quite easily occur during the birth process. And the fractures are just the chest compressed with the elbows pressing just in an awkward place. Poor little mate.
Oh, we're all hurting you, aren't we? Oh, we know, we know. Listen, listen, listen. It's all right. 2 seconds. 2 seconds, baby.
Yeah, I'm just looking for fractured ribs here. And just by palpating the ribs, you can tell, and you can feel whether there's any bruising over the ribs as well. We now just check. Come on,
little bugger, come on.
Check the eyes for entropion, which is the turning in of the eyelids. Check the mucous membranes for good colour.
Like all babies, weight is a good measure of progress.
Oh, I'm so good. 55 exactly. Perfect. It's very good size. It's another case.
He's doing well, but he's still a bit too young to brave the elements for long.
Come on, Baba. It's quite cold out there in that breeze. So the last thing we want him to do is lie down and get a chill. So he'll just come in here for 10, 15 minutes, have a little stretch of his legs. Mum will have a little walk around just to loosen herself off. And then he'll go back to his box. So just a little gentle exercise and a drink by the look of it.
Tomorrow on Race Country, a good night's sleep is finally within reach for Tracy as Kingwood Stud welcomes its final foal of the season. And cast off your troubles with Mary as she slips into her glad rags for a night on the tiles.